The second part now is going to look at now the components of what called the endocrine system. Where should I put it? I'm going to put it here. I'm going to call the components. Components. This is going to be B. Components of endocrine system. Members, to take you back, you need to be knowing that we have what to call two systems that normally control the body. We have what to call endocrine system, and also what to call the this is what to call the chemical, and what to call the nervous system. That's something you need to be knowing. This is just a recap. In the body of organisms, the body of organisms is controlled by around what to call two major systems, two major components. We have what to call the nervous system. Nervous system. Then you have what to call the what? This is the same as the chemical or the hormonal system. Now, our major topic today is what to call the chemical or hormonal system. But this hormonal system here is consisting of what to call two major components. You get? We have what to call endocrine system. Endocrine system. This is Roman numeral 1. We have what to call what? Exocrine system. Exocrine system. Now, this endocrine system, they are classified based on how the hormones are, how hormones reach the target organ. There are some of these hormones here whereby this endocrine system here is consisting of glands. These glands, what they do, they do not have ducts. Endocrine. They have what called they lack ducts. They say no ducts. So we say the ductless. That means they can easily release their chemical substances, their hormones into what called the bloodstream. That means here, in most cases, the hormones are transported through what called the circulatory system. Now, whereas this one here, the exocrine gland system is consisting of glands. These glands here have what to call certain kind of what to call the ducts. So we say these have what to call have ducts. These ducts here allow the flow of the chemical substances. For example, the salivary glands, we have maxillary glands, we have what to call there's a gland which is around here, the neck, this part of the around the neck here, by this side of the mouth here, that's neck here, this directly taking it to the salivary glands to the mouth there. So those glands that have what called ducts are called what? Salivary, I call it duct glands. Those glands are called what? Ductless gland. But for us today, we're not going to look at ductless gland. So we're going to go to what we call duct glands. We're going to look at those glands, that system which is consisting of glands. We're going to look at the system which is not containing ducts, which is called endocrine system or called endocrinology. We shall look at how the hormones, the chemical substances, reach to the target organ minus having what we call the ducts. You get? These are called the endocrine what? Glands. You get the point? So, don't say teachers that have not looked at what called the exocrine. I'm just giving a brief note. Let's get back here. Now, our focus is going to what called the component what called endocrine gland here. The components of endocrine gland or endocrine system here. Let's look at this member, it's very interesting. This system here is majorly consisting of something very interesting here. System here has what we call around the three major components. We have one, Roman numeral 1. The first component member is what we call the endocrine gland. Endocrine gland, which I can say now the glands, has the glands. More so the endocrine what? That's the first component. Then the second component members is what to call now Roman numeral 2. This is going to be called now the one that is being secreted here, which is supposed to call the hormones or the chemical substance. The chemical substance. Then the third compound called the target organ. The target organ. It means, members, you are now moving, you're together, members. Hope you're moving together. Now we are looking at now endocrine system. That is, we are seeing that it is having several functions, and therefore it has components that makes our what endocrine system here. Let's look at these members. We're going to first look at this first component here, which is called now endocrine gland, or the glands, majorly. The glands. Something very interesting here. What do we talk about the gland? This is just of course, when we talk about the system, does not only have the glands, they also have to call the organs. It can have the organs. Have organs, has organs, you get? Have cells. So we have what to call now the glands here, Roman numeral 1. The glands here. What's the gland now? You get? The glands here. A gland, it can be an organ, or I mean, it can be a cell or tissues. You get? That secrete chemical substances. In other words, usually what they do. They give what to call the chemical substances, which are called now hormones. And for the case of this endocrine, this chemical substance here is going to go to what called what? The bloodstream. To go to what to call the what? The target organ. Remember something very interesting here. I want us to look at now inside our body, we have what to call these glands here. And therefore this has made me to break down for you the structure here. The structure you are seeing here is what we call the endocrine system. You get? This is called endocrine system here. You get? We said endocrine system is consisting of glands and also organs. You have to know that. You get? So let's look at the glands first now. Now, the glands we have members here, we're going to begin from this side here. We have what to call this structure you're seeing here. The person is first, this is what to call the front view. This is what to call the front. Okay, the back view, sorry. The behind the view. This is the behind the view or the back view. This is the back view. So the person is facing just is giving you this part here. It means you're looking at the person like this. You get? Don't look this side here. We have what to call the gland that surrounds the neck. And the interior part of the neck here, we have what to call the gland here. What's the name of this gland? Of course, this is Adam's apple. It's not a gland. Apple, we know that very well. My major focus is here. We have this gland here. What's the name of this gland here? Something very interesting. This gland is very, very interesting, members. What is her name? This is called now what to call, I'm going to bring her here. This is called the thymus gland. The thymus gland. This is called the thymus gland. Sorry, thymus gland? No, it's supposed to be thyroid gland. Sorry about that. Thyroid gland. Thyroid gland here. So this one is just major important what to call metabolism, because it is containing some hormones like the T3 and the T4. This is what called the triiodothyronine. Then this is what called the thyroxine. These hormones are what called the cell metabolism. In other words, controlling the levels of the, or in other words, the important to call energy, monitoring the energy levels. Then we have what to call this second part of what to call the gland here. This gland is what to call the thymus gland. The thymus gland. Of course, this one, if you look at it, it's like it's a butterfly-like shape, shaped like a butterfly shaped. It's what to call the butterfly shaped. Sorry, this one is butterfly shaped. Of course, this one is just majorly important in the immunity, more so the immunity, that is It can start to call synthesize some cells, also in the body cells. It can also destroy what to call the pathogen. That means you can also do what to call destroy other parts of the pathogen, destroy the pathogens. That is interesting. Then we also have members. We have structures which are here. We have what to call something called the parathyroid hormone. Now this hormone is here. These are four structures of the hormone. There are around four of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can see them if someone is facing down because at the back side here. That's why since the person is looking down and this is our back view, these are going to be visible. They are called what? The parathyroid. Parathyroid gland. This is just what to call secreting the hormone called parathyroid hormone. The parathyroid hormone. Now let's look at something else here. We also have this parathyroid gland is just method in giving what to call a hormone called the melatonin. The melatonin is something. Melatonin, that is just from the pineal gland. I think there's something I've left behind here. Okay, I'll get back to it. So let's call the parathyroid gland here, which is important what to call secreting several hormones, for example, the phosphate and also the calcitonin. But all those are important in what to call controlling the calcium, the phosphate levels in the blood. Then we have this gland which is called now the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland here. This one is majorly for releasing hormones that are important in controlling like adrenaline, aldosterone. All these hormones are important to call controlling what to call the, for example, the blood pressure. Monitoring the blood what? Blood pressure. Then of course we have these other hormones here, which are these adrenal gland. We also have what to call this hormone here. This one is in the femurs. This is what we call the ovaries. The ovaries, this is what we call several hormones. This is the ovaries, gives the hormones, for example, what we call the estrogen, the estrogen, what we call the progesterone. These are the hormones, but this is estrogen. Most is what we call the most common hormone, which is important in controlling what we call the mesocycle. We're going to look at these hormones in detail. So look at each of these hormones in detail. So I'm just showing you what makes up what we call the endocrine system. Here guys, we have seen that we have what we call the glands. We have so far we see what we call the thymus thyroid gland, the neck. We have what we call the thymus gland. Then having the parathyroid glands. These ones here, seeing them here. Seeing them here, these are the same. Then we have what we call the adrenal gland. We have what we call, of course, we have some gland here that is contained in what we call the pancreas here, the incidence of Langerhans. You get? It's the gland that is within the pancreas here. Then we also have what we call the ovaries, which are having what we call the ovaries. They are taken as gland, that's taken as organ, because they have some glands which is important in giving out those hormones there. Then now there's something I want us to look at. I want us to go to the head. Then look at something very interesting here. Now, remember when you look at the head, we are going to extract some component of the head. We are going to cut this part here. We are going to cut like this, do that. I'm facing down. You cut like this, and then remove this component of my whole brain here. So you remove the whole brain here. This is the brain that you have removed. And this is after cutting this section here. We cut the whole of this. And then we'll be able to obtain this part of the what? Of the brain here. Something very interesting. Remember, let's look here. We have this structure. My major components is looking at to call the gland. There is this component you are seeing here. I'm going to shade it with that color here. The one you are seeing here. We use this. This one you are seeing here. This one is the gland. What's the name of this gland here? This gland members is called what called the pineal gland. The pineal gland. This pineal gland members is just important in secreting hormone called the melatonin. The melatonin hormone. Melatonin. This melatonin hormone members is just important in controlling what called the sleep cycle. The sleep cycle. That's what called the sleep cycle. So when the levels become high, you keep awake. But when the levels go above, they become too much, what's going to happen here? You're going to, when the levels go down, that means at night, the levels are always low. And therefore this is going to cause someone to do what? To sleep. You get? Now, you can also look at the circadian cycle. This can also call that the circadian cycle, or the sleep what? Cycle. Something very important there. You get the point? So I've seen that in the past. I think I've seen that. And then this is, of course, you have seen the glands. How many do we have? I've seen the pineal gland. I've seen what you call the thymus gland. This is number one. Don't remember them. This is number one. This is number two. Let me remember here. Number two. This is number three. Thymus gland. This is number four. This is number five. This is number six. Get the point? Now, in summary, we have seen that we have what we call endocrine system, which is consisting of what we call the functions. You get? Or we can say which is consisting of what we call several glands, organs. These organs are from different embryological origins, but they have to come together, and then they try to counteract the effect by releasing hormones. Get the point? Now we have seen that this endocrine system here, the hormones are going to be given by this system here, are going to be very important in doing what we call, in one, metabolism, secondly, growth and development, third, reproduction and what we call sexual function, then also what we call the mood swing and also stress management. Then we have seen that we have what we call components of what we call the endocrine system, which is here. It is consisting of what we call the glands, the hormones, and the target organ. We have seen that we have what we call the glands here, which is consisting of what we call endocrine gland. More so, we have seen here that we have what we call, of course, the major gland. There are very many glands. You get? All the specify the glands. So here we're looking at the major gland. However, there are very many other glands actually in the body, but we're looking at what we call the major ones, glands here. Then now we are going to look at some components. Like they have what we call some organs, which are also important in secreting the hormones. You get? And okay, that means that since an organ is secreting a hormone, it is also part of the endocrine system. Therefore, this makes the endocrine system to be consisting of not only the hormones, not only the glands, but also the what? Also the organs. You get the point? Let's begin. So I think we can move on now. I want us now to look at, you've been looking at what to call the organs. You've been looking at to call now the glands. I want us to look at some of the organs that we think could be giving us what to call the hormones. They're not the glands, but they are organs. But they can give us what to call the what? The hormones. We have very many members. We have what to call one, which is what to call the what? The hypothalamus. The hypothalamus in this structure we're seeing here, this component here, how to call the what? Hypothalamus. This one here. This is called what? Hypothalamus. I can put it here. This is going to be called the hypothalamus. This is called what? The hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. It is very important. It is not a gland, but it's just an organ in the body. Then if I can ask you, this one here just see, it is just linking between the nervous and also what to call the what? Endocrine system. Because it is an organ. So it is dealing with, it is part of the central nervous system. Hence, it is linking the nervous system to the hormonal system. You get? It is also important to call secreting. It manufactures hormones and then releases them to go to the this structure which is called what? Pituitary gland here. There's this. I think I forgot this gland here. This is called the pituitary what? I've forgotten it. Another type of the gland. That means that now you've gotten almost now another second one. This is what you call the pituitary what? Gland. I forgot it. This one is almost the master gland. It controls most of the glands in the what? In the body. It's the master gland. Now, we shall look at these ones in details there. I was giving the other organs that we have in the body. We said we have what for the hypothalamus, which is also important to call, it is linking the nerves to the what? To the endocrine system. Also, I want to call the pancreas members. This pancreas is located, it is located in the abdominal region, at the belly. You get region, but it is both a gland and also what to call what? The organ. You get? And also apart from being the gland and organ, it can also work as part of what to call what? Digestive system. We know the hormones that, we know the enzymes which come from that. The pancreatic amylase, the pancreatic lipids, and also the trypsin. That means the pancreas can work as an organ by giving us some hormones. It can also work as digestive system, part of the digestive system. You get? We have what to call adipose. The next organ what to call adipose tissue. This is just a fat which is a connective tissue that extends throughout the whole body. You get? And this one is just found under what to call the skin. You get? Just on the inner part of the skin members. And also some part of the bone marrow. You get? Now, if you look at the further details of what to call the adipose tissue or the fat or the body fat, it has to call several enzymes, several hormones normally come from this structure here. We have what to call the leptin enzyme, what to call angiotensin enzyme, and what to call adiponectin. What to call the leptin, I'm looking at to call the first organ you have seen so far. The first organ you have seen so far. I'm going to put here. Let me put here. This is the pancreas. It works as the gland. At the same time, it also works as what to call what? The organ. We have what's called leptin. These are the hormones here. Leptin hormones. These are what to call the hormone that contain what to call the pancreas here. What to call leptin hormone, that's one of them. You also have what to call another hormone, what to call the angiotensin hormone. You also have to call what? The adiponectin hormone. Adiponectin. You can also put them here. Adiponectin. Adiponectin hormone. Also what to call the angiotensin hormone. We shall look at the effect of these hormones when we come to looking at the gland, at the Golgi gland, and its what? Its secretions here. Then those are what to call. So how many glands? We said we have, so how many organs? We have the hypothalamus, that's one. We have what to call the pancreas, that's two. Adipose tissue or the fat, that's three. Then ovaries. These are just small oval-shaped glands that are located on either side of the uterus. Here, one, another one here. You get? They produce what to call and store the eggs. That's important. And also, they make the sex hormones. You have seen that already. You get? You have seen them here. It is milk is an organ, and also it can give what to call. It can also be an organ, also the glands. It is going to give what to call the sex hormones there. That's what's important there. And also how to call in men also have like another organ which is called the testes or the testicles. These are just small round organs that underneath the penis, just below the penis there. We have what to call those glands there, just below. That's the scrotum. And they are being enclosed by the scrotum. Something very interesting here. If I can sketch something important here, these are the balls, like this. Of course, these are what to call now the testes here. You get? They have what to call here to call the testes. This is the scrotum. You get? So these testes here, they are also organs. Therefore, they are major important in secreting what to call certain hormones. Most of what to call the sex hormone, like what? Testosterone. This is the most important hormone which is secreted by this one here, which is called what? Testosterone. I'm going to put it here, which is called what? This is the sex hormone that we have to call the second sexual characteristics you get in males. You get? Now, those are what to call the organs. However, in the body members, how many have I mentioned? We said we have five, around five. We'll finish them. We said we have which organ? We have what to call the hypothalamus, the pancreas, adipose tissue, those are the fat or the fat tissue, or the body fat, ovaries, testes or testicles. Then we have what to call other tissues that release hormones. They are not organs, or they can also be organs, you get, but they release what to call hormones. We have what to call digestive system or the tract, consisting of the stomach and what to call the small intestines, you get. Now, I can also what to call something here. Apart from these organs there, we also have other organs that are very important in secreting what to call what? Hormones. So we can call them tissues. For example, I have what to call the digestive system, consisting of the stomach. The stomach secretes what to call a hormone called the gastrin hormone. The hormone, that means also what to call the stomach here. Giving a hormone, what's the name of this hormone here? This hormone is going to be called what? The gastrin hormone. And also a hormone called the stomach also what to call the small intestines here. The small intestines. This could be the ghrelin hormone. The ghrelin hormone. These are the hormones which are secreted by what to call the stomach and also the ileum or the small intestines. Therefore, since they are giving us these hormones here, and endocrine system we are dealing with hormones, we classify them to be what to call what? The endocrine system, you get? But most of these they are about metabolism, these hormones here. You get the point, members? And of course, you've seen also like the kidney here. The kidney is also a very important members. They just been shaped and they give some like erythropoietin hormone. Erythropoietin hormone. This kidney here has a hormone which can give. It is an organ, but it also has a hormone called erythropoietin hormone. This is the hormone which is secreted by what to call what? The kidney. That means since the kidney is secreting the hormone here, it's also going to be what to call what? Endocrine system. And therefore, apart from that, you can also, apart from this, you can also give out to another hormone which is called what? What's the name of this other hormone here? The renin hormone. Renin hormone. So there are two hormones that can come from the kidney hormone called erythropoietin and also called the renin hormone. These are the major components of the secretion from what called the kidney members. And of course, we have another one which is what called the liver. You get? The liver is also part of the digestive system because of the bile. You know the bile, which is called the bile salts from the liver, which is important to call controlling breaking the fats into what called the fat acid and what called the glycerol. The liver also members has some hormones that they must separate. You get? What to call these are called the growth factors. What to call the insulin growth factors, like insulin growth factor 1, also what to call insulin and what to call angiotensinogen. Those two only. The liver, with the liver. This is the liver here. I'm going to put the liver part here. This is the liver here. So this liver here, it is going to release what to call two major hormones. What to call the insulin factor, enzyme factor 1. That's it. Insulin factor 1, that's insulin factor 1. Factor 1, enzyme, also the hormone, and also what to call angiotensinogen. Synogen. We shall look at this angiotensinogen system here when you look at now the adrenal gland and its secretion here. We shall be able to know how does this angiotensinogen here work. You get? So those are the enzymes and the hormones that are coming from what to call that liver members. Then also have what to call the heart members. You get? This heart here, its hormones normally come whenever there is a rise in pressure. For example, the blood pressure becomes high. You get? Here the hormones can come in. You get? We have what to call two hormones here. You get? You have what to call the A type natural thyroid hormone. Yeah? Natriuretic hormone, that's something this. What's called natriuretic. Where should I put it? Of course, let me put, if this is the heart, I'm going to put the heart here. I'm going to put This is my heart here. Of course, that's the heart. Now this heart here, what's called, it is consisting here. I want to see where I can put it. I'm putting the whole heart here. It is an organ in the body, but what does it do? It has what you call very many functions. But for us now, a major factor is looking at what is going to separate. You get? Now what are we going to do here? We have what we call natriuretic. Natriuretic. That's what we call natriuretic. What we call the A factor natriuretic. Natriuretic peptide hormone. You get? Natriuretic peptide hormone. This is what we call the hormone, which is going to be released what we call what? By this heart here. You get? There's some books where I call it A-type natriuretic peptide hormone. You can also call it A-type. Some books where I call the A-type. A-type, then natriuretic peptide what? Peptide hormone. You get? That one is for controlling what we call the blood pressure. And also what we call the B-type. The B-type. This is A-type. So what we call the what? The B-type. Natriuretic peptide hormone. Something very interesting there. You get? Now, those are the two hormones which come from what we call what? The heart. You get? The liver has testosterone as the main hormone. Then the heart has what we call two major ones. The A-type, natriuretic, and also what we call the B-type, natriuretic peptide hormone. You get members? Now, do we have another part? Maybe I can talk about what we call now the placenta. You get? This one is just important in giving also the hormones during what we call pregnancy. You get? So the placenta can also, the placenta just on the walls here, on the lining of the uterus. This is what we call the placenta. The lining of the uterus here, I'm going to put the placenta here. It's called the placenta. It is just measuring giving what we call certain hormones, which is measured for pregnancy. This is for pregnancy. So guys, that's what measure about what you call the glands and also the organs. You have seen the glands, you have seen the organs and what they secrete. That's what you have to know. Now in the next part, we're going to look at the next bio lecture. We're going to look at the cell signaling. The cell signaling. Guys, thank you for watching this bio lecture. Make sure you subscribe, like and share. And then you go and watch the one of the cell signaling. It is explaining everything. You get? Once again, Mr. Gosari Chebasaija, take you to the bio lectures. Thank you. Bye bye. We'll meet in the next bio lecture. Thank you.